Hello everyone, so today with me we have the H11C 2.4GHz 6-axis gyro drone. It does have a remote adjustment of the camera, and it comes with a 3.7 volt battery that stores 1100 milliamps. That's pretty large for a drone, although the drone will last about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not sure whether this is affected by the camera or by whether it has the lights on or not, but as you can see here, it's quite a nice looking drone. So let's open up and see what's inside the box. So with us inside the box, we have our main drone body here, we have our controller, and we have our propeller blades, and there's a screwdriver in there, as well as the feet for the drone. In this little box we have our camera, and we have a USB card reader with a 2GB card in. Here we have our 4 blade protectors. So let's take the casing off firstly. So here we can see the controller. It's quite a nice looking controller. We have the ability to take a photo, video. We have automatic 1 key return, CF mode, a reset switch, tuning and adjustment of the camera here, here and here, and we also have tuning here. So if we open it up, you can see that it will take three AAA batteries, that is. I do have some of these with me, so give me 1 second. There we go, so our 3 batteries just slot in like so. Doesn't have to be rechargeable batteries, can be any AAA batteries, although I would recommend rechargeable ones because they'll last a lot longer. So I'm just going to put the casing on the battery now. Now that's done, we can put it to one side. Here are our 4 blade protectors. We can just leave them in the box for now, and we can also leave our legs, our spare propeller blades and the screwdriver in the box for now. Firstly, we're going to want to move on to opening this box here. So there is a little bit of tape which you are going to have to either rip or cut if we open up the box. So here we have the USB card reader with a 2GB card in already, and we have our camera here which just plugs into the drone. The camera is adjustable via the controller like I mentioned earlier. So like the controller, we can put that to one side as we don't need that anymore. So onto the main assembly of the drone's legs. First we're going to need to get our drone and our first leg, and we can just push it in there, it'll stay in there, and we're going to want to do this for each of the 3 remaining legs. Now 2, 1. Good one. You're just going to want to push it in until you see the little gap close, like so. And all of our 4 legs are on now. If you're going to be moving it about a lot, then you can leave them unscrewed. But if you are going to be flying it quite rough, then you're going to want to use the 4 screws that come in the bag. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to gently pour them out onto a magnetic mat so I don't lose them. In the bag you will find 2 little rubber stoppers. These are replacements for the ones on the camera in case they come off. So we're not going to need to worry about them for now, so we can just leave them to one side. So we're just going to want to grab each of our screws. Going to gently place it in there and tighten. One more to go. After this you will notice you'll have 2 screws left over. Unfortunately you don't get any spare screws with this. The 2 remaining screws are one for the back of the remote control to hold the back plate in place, and the other one is for the battery slot, which I will show you in a second. So that's all 4 screws screwed in nicely now, and these legs won't come off. The legs do feel a bit flimsy, but so far I've had no problem with them at all. Now we're going to want to grab our blade protectors, and there's 2 little holes just here and here. We're just going to slot that in like so. The good thing about it, they just clip in, where some, if you have to glue them in or screw them in, when it crashes they'll just snap rather than pop out, whereas these ones only pop in, they only pop out rather than snap. This means you don't have to buy more blade protectors, and as easy as that, all the blade protectors are now on. Now what we're going to do, we're going to open up this back panel by just sliding it down like so, and we'll expose the battery now. All you got to do is just pull the wire very gently, and then once the battery is out you can put it out fully. You're going to want to disconnect this wire here. So it's a little red bit that goes into the larger black bit. Do keep this in mind so you don't end up pulling the wrong wire. To charge it you have a simple USB wire with the same end as here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put that in there like that, and then put it into an appropriate USB port. It takes around 2 hours to charge. The light will turn off when it's fully charged. When it's not fully charged, the light will remain on. I had already previously charged mine, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it back in. I do recommend you plug it in before trying to put the battery in its place, as it does make things a lot easier. And then we're just going to tuck the wire under there like so. Slide that panel back down and slot it back into place. Now what we're going to do, we're going to grab one of the 2 remaining screws. Just going to drop it in this little hole here. And as you can see, we'll just begin to screw that in. Then as soon as you feel it tighten, you don't want to pressure it anymore because it could ruin the thread on it. And that's that part done. So here we have the camera. It's very easy to install. You just plug that in to the part on the drone underneath, which is here, this little white socket here. So you just plug it in, and then on the bottom of the drone it's got 2 little open slots, and you're just going to slot what's on the back into those slots. So the camera does have a memory card slot, which you can just put the card that was in the USB into, which will allow you to take videos and pictures with. For the demonstration, I'm going to leave the camera off as it's not needed. Now that's everything set up, we can go ahead and switch on our drone. There's a little switch on the bottom near the front, and we'll see the flashing lights. Also going to want to switch on our controller, and then we'll see that the lights go solid. As soon as the lights go solid on both of them, you'll know that the controller and the drone are connected. Then we're just going to put a bit of throttle in to test it. As you can see, it's working fine. So I'd just like to say that the drone flies very well compared to a micro drone that I've used. It's a lot more stable, it's a lot bigger so it's easier to find, it can go a longer distance. It's a very, very, very expensive drone, but it is very worth the money. This is one of the best drones that I've used. I've used a couple of drones. Like I said, this one's been the best out of all of them. What I especially like about this is that if it crashes, the propeller protectors will just ping off rather than snap, which means you don't have to fork out some extra money on spares. I hope this demonstration review has been helpful for you.